What's good, y'all? This is a part 3 video of me talking about the buffs and fixes that they can do to Helldivers 2 primary weapons. Today I'm going off of the energy weapons, and I don't know. Let's check and see. Now for the first weapon is a bit of a weird one. The SG-8P Punisher Plasma. Now I'm pretty sure if you haven't watched my other video before, me talking about the shotguns and SMGs, this one you can consider it being a plasma shotgun. Now, this one, it doesn't really need much, but just a damage buff onto this weapon. For the way that this weapon looks, it really does look like it needs a damage buff. It really does. This weapon, it lacks in damage, in my opinion, and everything else is pretty much fine. The capacity, I'm not complaining. It's just connected to a small little battery or whatever that thing there is. So this weapon, all it really needs is a damage buff, and that's pretty much all that it requires it to be a more viable and usable weapon. Now, since this game is a PvE, having a higher damaging weapon is really not too crazy unless you are going into the higher leveled missions, and using this weapon in those type of missions, it really does need that damage buff. It really does. If not, maybe, just maybe, give it a little bit more capacity. That could work too. But other than those two, this weapon is fine as it is. Next one. It's going to be the Arc 12 Blitzer. This weapon's amazing. I use this weapon almost every day, every single time. Pretty much I use this weapon more than I use the other shotguns. Now, the Arc 12 Blitzer is a strange one. It's basically just like the Arc Thrower, but as in a shotgun. Now, this thing, yeah, it does connect to the dead bodies, the flora around the map, and a whole bunch of other stuff as well that blocks it from connecting. But this weapon is already good as it is. Now, I feel like having a bit more damage to this would be good as well. It just feels like it needs a little bit more of a push, as you could say. It just needs something to really bring it out there, be different than the others. It does have basically infinite ammo, and so it really does do it well. It really does do it greatly when it comes down to saving ammo. You don't really need any because it's infinite. Now, anything to do with this weapon really is just fine. It's gonna work in every single way possible. Against the bugs, against the bots, especially against the Luminate, it could do it all. We could fight off anything. Stun lock them, it can screw with them, so it can get multiple if it needs to. But other than that, damage is all that it needs to have. Anyways, the next one will be the last 5 Scythe. Now this weapon, it's a good one. It's a good one. But I feel like it really just needs a little bit of a longer fire limit on this weapon. It shows that it's at 8, and however that number may be in seconds, I feel like they should up that up to a little bit extra. Maybe put up to maybe 10, maybe 10, 2 up from 8. That would be fine. Then you have some people to do the math to figure out what it actually is. I feel like this thing will be good if it just has a little bit of a longer fire time. It would just make this weapon more better, especially for people who are new and using this weapon. It really could benefit from that, from having a longer fire time. Like, it's already a good weapon. You could beam heads off of the bots, and you can really light those Terminids and those Illuminate swarms on fire with this. And this weapon, it would really do good with it just having a longer fire time. Anyways, next one would be the Laz 16 Sickle. Now this one I feel like it needs something that the Scythe doesn't have. And that's a damage buff. You know, like it just needs a damage buff. It just needs it. how the double-edged sickle is. It goes from 55 to 70. I think this one should just be straight up 70. Because this weapon, you're not really hurting yourself with this weapon. You're just shooting it, and in hopes of it hitting something. Giving it 70 damage to it will honestly be pretty fine. It'll be pretty fine. I wouldn't be complaining about it. Or what they could do is that they give you maybe a fire rate option, maybe a slower one, maybe from 750 to possibly 500. That would actually be fine. You have a slower fire rate, but then you also have the option to have a higher damage. Now, I say this will make some sense here. You have the faster fire rate, you have 55 damage. You have a slower fire rate, you have 70 damage. Wouldn't that make sense? The slower it is, the more powerful the laser. The faster it is, the less powerful the laser. It would just make a bit more sense to it, and I think that'll be good. Anyways, the next weapon is going to be the last 17, double-edged sickle. This weapon's fine. This weapon's good. There's nothing wrong with this weapon, and I have nothing to say about this, other than it's pretty much a great weapon as it is. When they updated it to where it could do heavy armor penetration, it was already good, and then it just got better. Now, I feel like all this weapon really needs is probably a better scope. I feel like having a better scope on this, or maybe do something with it. I don't know. This weapon's good. There's not really wrong with it. You put on inflammable armor, and you can basically shoot this thing forever. Other than that, there's not really wrong with this weapon. So I say, keep it the way it is. Don't change it, and who knows, maybe they'll give it a buff that no one really asked for and just works in the end. Anyways, next one, and that's going to be the Plasma Scorcher. This one, everybody likes. This one is definitely a fan favorite. You can't play a single day on Helldivers 2 without seeing someone running the Scorcher. And if you do, well, you're hallucinating. Now, this weapon's great. This weapon's amazing. My opinion, they should up the damage. Up the damage to 300 maybe. With 20 bolts in this weapon, since it's a plasma rifle, it fires what it says, bolts of superheated gas. It should have 300 damage. Make it a little bit more powerful for how much bolts it has inside. It will honestly just feel better. And maybe up the fire rate to 400. That could work. 400 would be fine. I mean, the weapon already shoots fast as it is. It really does do great. But having better damage, or having more damage on this thing will honestly just make it a way better weapon. And I ain't complaining about it either. Anyways, next weapon is going to be the Plas 101 Purifier. Now this is what you could say is the big brother to the Scorcher. And I feel like it really is. Given the option to charge this weapon up for more powerful shots, or just tap the trigger and you can spam the shots however you want. This weapon is good and it's great. But I feel like they should give you an option to maybe have a better, like, just more damage on this. Or either just have the weapon just feel better in general. I don't know how they could really make this gun any better. I mean, upping the capacity on this, it could be good. They could do that. But I feel like that would honestly just screw up with how the Scorcher is. The Scorcher has 20. The Purifier has 15. So having both of them at 20 really wouldn't seem right to do. So keeping it the way it is now will honestly just be totally fine. Other than that, maybe just add a different scope to it. This feels more of a farther range weapon because you have to charge it up, and I don't think anyone's really going to charge the Purifier up when something's up close to them. Even at medium range, you probably won't charge this up all the way because they're coming to you. They're going to get you. So Anyways, those are all the weapons I have for today. And leave a opinion in the comments if you have any, and tell me what you think about my ideas on it. And if you think that they should do it a little bit differently with all these weapons, then say it. Maybe at some point, if we all say it enough, we could get something we want. We'll have to see. Anyways, thanks for watching, and see you next one.